Creative hobby. Many consider a hobby is something that is just for passing time. They are wrong. A hobby makes effective use of time by helping one create something. If you look at the definition of hobby, it means an activity or interest pursued for pleasure or relaxation and it not as a main occupation. Gardening, reading, singing are all considered hobbies that people do other than their professional work. But the truth is, if you follow your hobby diligently, it might end up being more productive than your main occupation. All great people have hobbies. J.R.D. Tata, the famous industrialist, liked listening to music from across the globe. Homi Bhabha, the greatest nuclear scientist, enjoyed painting. Albert Einstein, Albert Einstein, a world-renowned physicist, played the violin and piano. Apart from sailing and writing travelogues, the various hobbies Chanakya suggested to king included listening to musical instruments, swimming, and hunting. For hunting, this was a game during those days. Chanakya suggested he should go to a forest containing game for practicing on moving targets. Most countries have now banned hunting as leisure activity, but we need to look at Chanakya's suggestion from different perspective. The above suggestion for hunting does not suggest the act of killing an animal or bird. It simply says to practice on moving target. A king in those days was also expected to be a great warrior. So during leisure time he was supposed to hunt and even catch animals. But it was not an easy task. An animal from the forest understands its habitat better than humans and knows all its routes. If you try to catch it, it can easily escape. There is also danger of the hunter becoming the hunted. So it is all a mind game and requires a foolproof strategy if one is to win. And this was where the king's training came into play. Similarly, this logic is applicable to other hobbies as well. If you take up gardening, you should research seasons and their impacts on plants. If you take up an instrument, you should hone your ability to differentiate between notes and scale. Whatever you do, acquire the holistic understanding of your hobby. So you see, hobby is a serious activity except it is not stressful. It actually de-stresses you. So what should one keep in mind while developing a hobby? It is important. Having a hobby in itself is important. It is something we should all develop in our lives. Just as reading and writing helps us in all walks of life, a hobby to help us develop a certain skills required in life. It is also important to upgrade yourself in your hobby. Suppose your hobby is to play the flute. Do not play the same tune every day even after 20 years. This would drain the creativity of this activity. So keep improving your hobby. Listen to new tunes, learn new dance pieces, whatever your hobby, keep learning. It refines you. A hobby helps sharpen the mind, but it is only over a period of time that you will be able to appreciate the finer aspect of your hobby. Your mind will become more alert and receptive. If reading is person's hobby, subconsciously the person is bound to start understanding the patterns of various books. He is soon able to differentiate between good and bad books. This type of insight can be developed through a hobby in other fields too. Give it time regularly. Don't leave a hobby midway. Give it time every day. Some people follow a hobby religiously during their childhood, but they do not continue it into adulthood. There are few things sadder than the death of creativity. So follow your hobby and give it your best. Who knows, you might just make a fulfilling career out of it. And if not, then remember that life without a hobby is dull and boring. Whenever you feel down and low, you will always have your hobby to go back to.